Palestinian politics is deeply shaped by two dominant movements, Fatah and Hamas. Both claim to represent the Palestinian people, yet their visions, strategies, and leadership styles are sharply divided. This rivalry has shaped decades of conflict, stalled peace negotiations, and left Palestinians politically fragmented between the West Bank and Gaza. To understand today's reality, we must trace the origins of these movements, their ideological differences, and how their rivalry impacts the dream of Palestinian statehood. Founded in the late 1950s by Yasser Arafat and other Palestinian exiles, Fatah emerged as a secular nationalist movement. Its central goal was the liberation of Palestine and the establishment of an independent state. Fatah became the dominant faction within the Palestine Liberation Organization, or PLO, which was internationally recognized as the representative of the Palestinian people. In the 1970s and 1980s, Fatah was involved in armed struggle against Israel, but by the 1990s, its leadership embraced negotiations. The Oslo Accords of 1993, signed on the White House lawn, marked Fatah's transition toward diplomacy. This gave birth to the Palestinian Authority, a governing body meant to prepare Palestinians for statehood. However, decades later, peace remained elusive. Corruption within Fatah, stalled negotiations, and continued Israeli settlement expansion led many Palestinians to lose faith in the movement's leadership. In contrast, Hamas was founded in 1987 during the First Intifada. Emerging from the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas fused Palestinian nationalism with Islamist ideology. Unlike Fatah, Hamas rejected recognition of Israel, instead calling for its elimination and the establishment of an Islamic Palestinian state. Hamas gained popularity not only for its resistance, but also for providing social services, schools, hospitals, and welfare programs, especially in Gaza, where poverty and hardship were widespread. For many Palestinians, Hamas appeared less corrupt, more disciplined, and more rooted in local communities compared to Fatah's elite leadership abroad. But Hamas also became known for its use of suicide bombings and rocket attacks against Israel, actions that brought international condemnation and led many countries, including the US and the EU, to designate it as a terrorist organization. The rivalry between Hamas and Fatah came to a head in 2006, when Palestinians held parliamentary elections. To the surprise of the international community, Hamas won a majority of seats, defeating Fatah decisively. Instead of leading to unity, the victory sparked a political crisis. Fatah refused to relinquish full control of the Palestinian Authority, while Hamas demanded legitimacy as the elected government. The tension escalated into violence. By 2007, after fierce clashes, Hamas seized control of the Gaza Strip, expelling Fatah officials. Meanwhile, Fatah retained power in the West Bank under President Mahmoud Abbas. Since then, Palestinians have lived under two rival governments, a Hamas-controlled Gaza and a Fatah-led Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. The Fatah-Hamas split has had devastating consequences for the Palestinian people. In Gaza, Hamas's rule has led to multiple wars with Israel, devastating infrastructure, and suffocating blockades. In the West Bank, Fatah continues negotiations with international actors, but without real progress. This division has weakened the Palestinian position in global diplomacy. With no unified leadership, peace talks have repeatedly stalled. Israel often points to the Hamas-Fatah rift as proof that Palestinians cannot deliver on agreements. Meanwhile, ordinary Palestinians suffer. Families are divided between Gaza and the West Bank. Civil servants often go unpaid due to political disputes. And with each year that passes, hopes for unity and for a two-state solution grow dimmer. Over the years, there have been multiple attempts to bridge the divide. Talks in Cairo, Doha, and Mecca produced agreements on paper, but they rarely translated into action. the main obstacles remain. Hamas refuses to renounce armed resistance or recognize Israel, while Fatah fears losing its international legitimacy and financial aid if it compromises too much. For many Palestinians, the rivalry feels less about ideology and more about power. Two leaderships unwilling to step aside, even as their people endure occupation, poverty, and exile. The story of Hamas and Fatah is not just about two political parties. It is the story of a divided people struggling for freedom under occupation, caught between war and negotiation, ideology and pragmatism. Until this divide is healed, the path to peace will remain as fractured as Palestinian politics itself. If you want to understand more pivotal moments in history, subscribe and join us for the next story that shaped our world.